The census of the new generation. Dear friends, in the previous story, didn't we see Balaam gave Balak a plan to bring a curse on the Israelites who were encamped in the plains of Moab? We will see what the plan was in today's story. Balaam, who knew that because God was with them, no sorcery and divination will work against Israel, understood one thing. Only if Israel breaks the commandments of God can they bring a curse on them. He advised Balak to seduce Israel into breaking the first of the 10 commandments. Don't you remember what the first commandments were? They shouldn't have any other god besides the Lord, and they shouldn't make an idol, nor bow down to it or worship it. According to Balaam's advice, Balak sent Moabite women to the Israelites to seduce them in order to get them to commit idolatry. The women succeeded in that. In this affair, there were Midianite women also with the Moabite women. They invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods. The people ate and bowed down before these gods. So the Israelites joined in worshipping the Baal of Peor, leaving their God. The Lord's anger burned against Israel. So Moses told the Israelites to put to death their brothers who have joined in worshipping the Baal of Peor, so that the Lord's fierce anger may turn away from Israel. Then an Israelite man brought to his family a Midianite woman right before the eyes of Moses and the whole assembly of Israel while they were weeping at the entrance to the tent of meeting. When Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, saw this, he left the assembly, took a spear in his hand, and followed the Israelite into the tent. And he drove the spear through both of them. Then the plague against the Israelites was stopped. But those who died in the plague numbered 24,000. After the plague, the Lord said to Moses and Eleazar, "Take a census of the whole Israelite community by families, all those 20 years old or more who are able to serve in the army of Israel." Don't you remember that at the beginning of this book, a census similar to this was taken before they started from Sinai? In that census, the people numbered 6,03,550. Now, when they took the census again as per God's command, they numbered 6,01,730. Though the people who were numbered have only a small difference, the names of the people numbered are entirely different. Except for Joshua and Caleb, everyone else who was numbered in the first census died in the 40 years of wandering. The people whom God brought out of Egypt with his mighty hand. The people who saw the presence of God in the pillar of fire by night and the pillar of cloud by day. The people whom God nourished with manna. The people who experienced all these things was not able to enter their promised land because of their unbelief. Because Joshua and Caleb stood on God's side, God allowed them to enter the promised land. The Lord told Moses that the land is to be allotted to them as an inheritance based on the number of names. He was to distribute the land by lot. He was to give a larger group a larger inheritance and a smaller group a smaller one. Then the daughters of Zelophehad, who is a descendant of Manasseh son of Joseph, approached the entrance to the tent of meeting and stood before Moses and Eleazar. Their father had died in the desert, and they had no brothers. They wanted to know if they would get an inheritance in the land that God will give the Israelites, because their father was dead and they have no brother. We will see what was God's decision on this matter in the next story. God bless you.